the Booksplosion January Book of the Month live show, Wayfarer by Alexandra Bracken. Big thanks to Disney Hyperion for sponsoring our read-along this month. So today, we're going to be discussing Wayfarer by Alexandra. Oh my God, why can't I speak today? Wayfarer by Alexandra Bracken. We're going to be taking questions on Twitter from you guys using the hashtag Wayfarer Explosion. I guess you can ask them in the chat. There's less of a chance that we'll see them, but we have them up so we can look at it. It's just the chat goes really fast sometimes, and it's hard to like catch things. Yeah, so we're going to be discussing it in spoilery fashion. So if you haven't read the book yet, be careful. There will be spoilers. And yeah, I'm Christine.
I'm Jesse.
And I'm Kat.
And we're Booksplosion! Yay!
I will say, if you haven't read the book yet, we did read book 1 in the series, Passenger, last year, and we all made lots of videos about it.
Yes.
So you can go watch our videos if you are completely new to this book and you want to know more about it. But this video is for people who have read both Passenger and Wayfarer.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, let's kick things off with our initial thoughts. Jesseth.
Okay, I will share my thoughts. First off, I just gotta say that I loved Wayfarer more than Passenger. I loved it so much. So many crazy things go down in this finale, but I loved every second of it, and I loved how it all just kind of tied together. I really enjoyed seeing like all the character growth throughout the story, and I enjoyed like all the new characters we got. The one thing that I will say that's kind of negative, I guess you could say, is that it was just a little bit on the slower side, but I still didn't really mind it that much, and I really enjoyed everything else about it. So overall, I was super happy with this conclusion, and I wouldn't mind her writing more books in this series, even though I don't know if she's going to, but I would love for her to do that.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, on that last thing that you just said, Jesse, like there's so much more to explore here. Like even in events that happened in this book, like seeing how happened to like Rose and Henry when Etta like left Henry and like went off on her own, and like just so many things in this book alone that we could use another one. But yeah, I really agree with Jesse. I love this book. I liked it even more than Passenger.
You both liked it more than Passenger?
Yeah, I know that Christine, you had you didn't love it as much because the main couple was separated for most of the book. But I actually didn't mind that because like they both had interesting things going on, and I kind of liked the break from the romance. Like there's just like this book was definitely less on the romance. Like Passenger had a great romance, and I loved it there, but I loved seeing both of these characters on their own and like outside of the romance.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm with you there, Kat.
Yeah, I knew you were. As soon as I started reading, I was like, Jesse just likes this better because the romance is in it.
It's true. It was just so overwhelming in the first book.
I agree. Like I love romance, but I liked that.
I like them both combined together. I like the romance and the time travel.
And you know what, Christine? Your feelings are valid, okay?
So I really missed that in this book, and like that, like I feel like because when it is slow, that really makes me go through it faster.
Yeah.
And like because there's a lot to go through in this book. Like we have a lot of information that we're hearing for the first time all at once, and I do wish I want more in this world. And like you guys said, like there's so many different stories that we could see. We'd love to hear more about. Somebody told me, I mean, a bunch of people actually told me in the comments because I was asking about
story.
What?
There's a short story, right?
There's a short story. Yeah, there's a short story about Rose and Henry, which is what I was really interested in, like their beginnings, because like how did they get together in the first place? Rose seems like she's been so shut off, like her since she was like a little girl, like just on the path to revenge and on the path to like fixing everything. That I'm surprised she even, like fell in love with Henry. But yeah, I really enjoyed Wayfarer. I just didn't enjoy it as much as Passenger because I had that constant like, no, stop. Like it was just like, oh, I was like, it was like a new moon where I was like, when? We were in page 300 and I was like, still not.
Hey, but the moments of them together we got were pretty good.
Yeah,
they were good. But like I also want
I mean, also
more of the other couples. Like I wanted to see more of Lee Min and Sophia. Like at the end, I was like, I want to see where they are now and what.
I do agree with that. I wish we would have gotten more romance at the end and like more follow up on all of the characters. Yeah. We only briefly get a mention about Sophia and Lee Min, right?
Yeah.
What about Julian?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too. What about Julian? Like, do we bring him up to our time? Like, are we gonna go hang out with him over there? Like, there's so much, because it was a duology. I feel like it would have to be so giant to include all this detail.
Yeah.
So maybe she could do I feel like she could do a book of novellas with all these answers.
Yes, that would be nice.
I agree. And actually, the Darkest Minds novellas were like some of the better novellas that I've read. So like, I have so much faith in Alexandra Bracken.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Awesome Wayfarer novella collection.
Yeah, she writes fantastic novellas.
And also, just because we're dealing with time travel, like we can do so much. Like we can see how Rose and Henry met. We can see to like Nicholas and Etta like going through time now and like opening up these passages and like reconnecting people who've been split up. Like there's so much we could explore.
I know. Don't you also want like the origin story? I want like when
the whole thing between the Belladonna and the golden one, the ancient one, and the main alchemist like children, and there's this whole like happening. Oh my god.
That was huge, but it was just like a little bit.
That's the story, but we're focusing on like Etta's role in the story. But that was like the big deal that was happening.
Yeah. That like blew my mind. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. I mean, that's the part where I was reading this and I was like, why are we reading about Etta and Nicholas? Like, this is the story.
Yeah,
like,
we're reading about like the sequel, not like the actual. I really would love to hear that story from like when they were human, when the Belladonna was like a real, just regular person and not like this like scary immortal witch woman.
Yeah.
Okay, again, I just want to reiterate that we're going to take questions from you guys. On the Twitter using the hashtag WayfarerSplosion. That's spelled like this with Splosion at the end. And also, if you want to throw some in the chat, we'll be looking at that too. But like Twitter is more permanent, so we can see it better.
Yeah.
Let's see what we've got here. Latest. Okay. Oh, do you guys prefer the Darkest Minds or the Passengers?
I personally prefer the Passenger duology. I didn't love the finale of the Darkest Minds trilogy, so I would say Passenger.
I think that
I don't know.
This is a stronger conclusion, but I personally just had like more fun while reading the Darkest Minds. Like objectively, I can totally see how people would say this is better because like the writing has improved, the plotting is awesome, it's a satisfying, like cohesive conclusion. But the Darkest Minds, I had a lot more fun while reading it. Like a lot more laughs were had.
Yeah, I completely agree. I laughed a lot more, and I had a lot more like. It was like not that it was all lighthearted, but like it just had a more lighthearted feel to it.
Like this had a more serious tone.
Yeah,
and you know that reminds me of something that I wanted to mention about like how there was less romance. Like in book one, where we have Nicholas and Etta together, like because of their developing relationship, like there's not a ton of that humor. But when they were split up, like they were each paired with someone who like lit up the scene a little bit more and like kind of aggravated them a little bit. Like we have Julian, who's like a flirt and ironwood and like not a great person. Like he's on his way of like becoming a better person, but he's also kind of like a selfish, bratty kid. And then we have like Sophia, who's like a huge antagonistic role.
Yeah, Sophia was really like the humor in this one.
Yeah. So like that was more fun for me because like Julian was fun with Etta and Sophia was fun with Nicholas. And when Nicholas and Etta are together, they're just like more serious. So,
yeah, I would have liked to see more of Julian and Etta together. I feel like their time together was very limited.
We just didn't get enough Julian in general.
Yeah, because then we had like that time when we were with Julian, like he went to go see his like nanny for a long time, and that like wasn't funny. It was just like sad.
So sad.
I mean, that was like one of the scariest like
Yeah.
timelines is like they come to the United States and it's been like decimated by bombs.
Yeah.
And then like the segregation is still going on. Like that was when I felt like Julian was having more of an arc because he was freaking out. He was like, why are there separate beds? Like, why are there so many beds in here when there are people outside? Like, what is going on? He was like really starting to question that a little bit. But really, we didn't follow up with Julian enough. I want to know more about him. Like,
yeah. Well, that was in the 40s though, right? That took place in the 40s?
Yeah, it was World War II.
Yeah, well, segregation was still happening in the 60s. So I was just like, because I just saw Hidden Figures, and I was like, wait a minute, wasn't that already, like, because she acted like it wasn't a thing then, but it was, but it.
Yeah. That's the thing, like, we don't know how much, like, I'm not very familiar with history, so, like, I couldn't always tell, like, what was real and what was not, like, what was the timeline and what was, like, historically accurate.
Yeah, no, it was all very upsetting. It just was like I was when they like them being surprised at it, I was like, well, the civil rights movement was like in the 60s. But it was all very depressing, and I was sad all those chapters. I was like, let's get out of here. Yeah. The whole time I was just like waiting for them to collide with Nicholas.
When he found the earring,
I was so mad when he found that earring. I was like, no. No.
Well, I was so thrown when Etta lost the earring. Because I thought they were like the freaking key to the astrolabe. Like we all had this theory.
Oh my god, I know. I was
like, earrings were the key to destroying it or the key to using it. Like we were on this, and it had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
it wasn't even at the end. I was like, oh, he's gonna use the earrings to get back to her. But then like time period anyways. I'm like, no, there's no point.
I know. I was the same thing. I was like, but the earrings from like that time where they were together of like when they had that night together and they met that other guy that was like related to them. And I was like,
because she kept like going out of her way to mention the earrings, so you think they're going to be a key to the story, but
like,
no.
We're keeping track of them the whole time. Like, okay, Etta has one, Nicholas has one. Oh, he thought he lost it. No, he still has it. Like, okay, good. We still have all our earrings.
Like in the beginning, like in the like first Nicholas chapter, when he has it, like he says he has like something metal against his chest on a thing. Did you think it was the astrolabe? I even thought it was the astrolabe. I was like, does he secretly have the astrolabe?
He has it.
Because it was like such a big deal, but it was just the ear. Okay. Oh, Proud Booklion says, which fictional character would you want to have as your companion time traveling?
Ooh, that's a good question. Isabel Lightwood. Because she my bet. Because she my bet.
Yeah, I'd bring Percy.
I mean, Will Herondale probably. Or maybe Rhys-Sand. Rhys-Sand is kind of.
Oh my God! Have we both abandoned Will?
What?
I mean, not yet.
I mean, no, I still love Will too.
And also, I gotta wait for book 3 in the ACOTAR series before I make any final judgments on Rhys-Sand. Because those characters, like, you never know which direction they're gonna go next.
Okay, let's see. Oh, what's your favorite time period that we got to see in this book?
Ooh, I need to like refresh my memory here.
I like when we go to Russia and we see the Tsar. I don't like when we get blown up, but I really like.
You say when we get blown up, that's your favorite.
No, I liked when she got to play for him, and her dad was there. And
yeah,
he was,
that
like,
was
so
sweet.
proud. He was like, "Well, she plays the violin, and she's won like 1 million awards." So. Yeah. And then they play together. They played together. Oh, it's such a nice scene.
You know what? I liked modern day when they all got reunited.
That's a cop-out. I like that.
That was my favorite.
Can they go to the future?
They did. No, they went to the alternate future, which was 1940.
Well, it was like an alternate, more modern. But I mean, like, can we go to like the future?
But we didn't.
but could we?
Oh.
I'm not answering the question. I'm just wondering in general.
I think if there was a passage from someone in the future who had made that passage, then
now Nicholas can make any passage. He just needs an item. Like, what if the Belladonna has like some item from like 2400?
Well, like, I don't know, because Nicholas will end it before then. I don't know what the like probability is that there is someone out there, you know, because like time, it depends how you look at time. Like,
Yeah, like
what happened already happened, or is it can it still happen?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there is the whole like weird looping effect, like how Nicholas was like, now that I have this ability, like, what would you do? I would save my mother, you know, I would set her up with a comfortable life. And then Captain Hall is like, well, you've actually already done that. That was the part that like really got me emotionally. I mean, it takes us into the whole ending where then like they're all reunited, but just the fact that like Nicholas got to like save his mother and like
I didn't even like pick up on that. He had already saved his mom.
Yeah, because like that's what I took. That's what I interpreted it as. But at the end of that chapter, Hall is like, well, you know what? Tomorrow you go back 5 years in the past and you tell me to do exactly that. Which I took to imply Nicholas went in the past, told him to do that 5 years ago. He did that 5 years ago, and he's been like holding it from Nicholas ever since.
But see, this is weird because it kind of goes against the other things, the other time shifts, like how they can shift the time period by changing something.
Yeah.
You know?
Like little waves, but not like a huge big thing. Like we've heard about the little ripples, like when the earthquake didn't destroy as much as it had in a previous timeline.
Yeah, but like being able to bomb New York in one timeline and not in another, like that's a huge shift that they were able to do. Yeah. And so if you can do that, it's not like what happened always happens, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like it won't autocorrect to that.
Well, yeah. But in this situation, like, because they went back to the original timeline, so now any changes...
It gets real mind-boggling of... like, how do you know it's the original? Like, it's just confusing.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's what I'm thinking of how it works. Like, that... Jesse, did you catch that at all? Nicholas saving...
A little bit, yeah. But I was also a little confused as to how it would work out.
Yeah, so the time traveling part is mind-boggling, but I took it as like, because he had already saved her, like he could go back and save her again. Like he knew he could. The same way like Etta knew that she had to go back in time and talk to her mother and like set her mother on this course.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys prefer Etta or Nicholas's perspective?
Ooh.
This question's from Lucy.
I feel like I preferred Nicholas's. Like they both were really awesome, but like I think I preferred his. Like him and Sophia just went through so much throughout this story. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, there were times where I wanted to hear more from his, and there were times when I wanted to hear more from Etta. I feel like I was more sad listening to Nick because he was like so upset over Etta a lot, and I was just like, she's alive.
Yeah, I think I preferred Etta's a little bit more just because it had more emotional resonance with her parents. Whereas like Nicholas, like I liked his because like him and Sophia did go through so much and they had all these like fun, crazy action scenes, like and with the Belladonna, like escaping the shadows and Lehman and all that. Like that was really fun. But Etta struggling with like realizing her mom is like a flawed human and like realizing her father, like that's before she played the violin for the Russian Tsar, and she was talking about how like one of the reasons that she played is that she was hoping that maybe if she got super famous, like her dad would find her and would like listen and be proud of her. And he was like, I heard you, and then he was like so proud of her. That was just, I really loved that.
What did you guys think of Henry at first? Like were you trusting of him right off the bat?
I still, like, I was not completely trusting, but I could tell that, like, I liked him. Like, he was... Yeah. I could see...
He was very charming.
Yeah, he's very charming. And you could tell that he, like, really loves her already. I just wasn't sure of, like, if he had the astrolabe when he was lying about it because he wanted to, like, protect her or not have her go looking for it or, you know, because I thought there was a chance they had it because they had it. Like, did they have it? I don't know.
I trusted him right away. I don't know why. But like, I didn't think there's anything malicious about him. Like, I didn't necessarily know that like his way of doing things was the right way, but like when he was telling her about her mom and talking about, you know, how she'd been like haunted by these delusions and like he had never believed her and stuff, like that, I didn't feel like he was doing that to be malicious. I felt like that was like the information he was operating under, even though like we find out later like it wasn't exactly correct.
I thought it was really interesting when that scene we saw him with having a meeting from people all throughout time of all different parts of the world, and that made me trust him a little more, that he had like all these big like different figures throughout history from different parts of the world kind of on his side. It made him feel like the United Nations rather than Ironwood, who's just iron.
Yeah. Also the part where he's talking to the Tsar of Russia and he's like not giving anything away, like they're protectors. They're not like managing it. They're like helping to preserve it and like just keep things as nice as possible. Though even then, like there's the whole question of, is that okay? Like, is what Nicholas is doing now okay? Like just because he has this power, like all of the questions of morality and like what's right
iffy.
Yeah. Whose life are you messing up? Like you might like bump into someone on the street and delay them from like meeting the love of their life or from getting hit by a bus or something. Like that whole butterfly effect, like
yeah, but like that's also the thing. That's also the thing. Like, did that happen? Did whatever happened happen? Or like, is it different? So we don't know. Here's
so many questions.
Here's another question from Megan, and this I thought this was really interesting because I'd like to hear what you guys thought about it. What did you think of the heightened fantasy aspects in this book? Because I wasn't expecting them.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Threw me. I was like, wait, what is this magic?
Yeah, that when we got to actual magic, I mean, I liked how it worked out for me in the end because like it felt like the magic was kind of the source of the time travel ability. Like the magic kind of fueled that. And if we notice, the people who have like the magic powers are like these very powerful beings who were like around when this time travel thing started. So like I wasn't expecting it, but I was down with it.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. I just felt like it was sprung on me in a way that like I wasn't expecting it, so I didn't believe it as much. You know, like if it had been drizzled in, I think from the beginning, I would have been like more like open to it.
Yeah.
I just think in the auction scene, especially, it kind of made it really a little confusing to read. Because I don't know, they were silenced in these booths and you couldn't see who was next to you, and like I feel that whole scene, I was just like a little jumbled. Because there was the magic aspect happening. Like when she tried to get the ash, I don't know if it felt jumbled to you.
I wonder if she knew that she was going to bring in magic in the second book, or if it was like a surprise to her even when she was writing it. Like, I
like maybe the original idea was like this love story, but then like it developed into this deeper like magic story.
Mm-hmm. I wondered a lot about that as well, because like at the end of the first book, in our mind, like the villain is Ironwood, and then we also have like kind of the subversion of Sophia also being like a villain, and like she was doing it for her own gains and stuff. Mm-hmm. And both of those villains ended up kind of fizzling out. Like we find out that Sophia was doing it like not as a betrayal thing, but like she just wanted respect. She wanted to like. I remember in the first book, like Sophia's main drive was like she wanted respect. She wanted to be in a time period where women had like more rights and stuff. Like that's what she wanted and what she was driving for. And then like we got like all new villains in this one. Like Ironwood didn't even seem like that much of a threat anymore.
Yeah. It was kind of like how the Vampire Diaries has been structured. I don't know if you watched the first season. Like Catherine is painted as this huge villain, and then like little do we know, there's like these originals that are way more threatening, and it was kind of just like that. And I do like how Rose ended up being redeemed, because I didn't want her to be like this villain. She was interesting as this villain, but like I wish we saw more of her in this book, because someone just asked, like, what did you think of her being absent for 95% of the book? And I thought she was going to be more of a player because we opened up on that chapter.
Yeah.
Right.
I would
I
have
have a
liked
question about the last chapter of this book.
Mhm.
Who do you think was the girl that came to her? That came to Rose?
It was Etta.
Was it Etta for sure?
Yeah, it was definitely Etta.
Yeah.
I didn't pick up on that. I was just like, who is this person?
Yeah, it was
I
definitely.
mean, I had theories, obviously, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, because it had to be Etta, or else she wouldn't have. It wouldn't have been acceptable that she did this to Etta. You know, like
Okay.
Unless Etta told her to do it.
Yeah.
And she said she had blue. She looked just like her. Yeah. Let's see here. Which family would you want to have belonged to? The Lindens, the Lindens, the Hemlocks, I guess, or the Thorns, and the Ironwoods. There's only 3, right? Or there's one more, Jacka something.
The card, yeah.
Yeah.
The other one.
I guess the Lindens. They have a depressing backstory. Maybe the Hemlocks. I don't know.
I like the Thorns because they're like not a family. They're like a new rebel group.
Yeah, well, the Hemlocks run the Thorns, though.
Yeah. Okay, Hemlocks, I guess.
The Thorns are kind of like the rebel group that the Hemlocks and the Jacarandas formed.
Came together. Although it was like around Rose. Like Rose was the one who like named them and who like helped bring them together. I don't know, I agree. Like I would have loved to see more of Rose because she is such a huge player in the story.
Yeah.
And like just how much she like orchestrated in the first book and how much she was like she didn't feel like that much of a player in this book.
Yeah, but she was such a background puzzle. I mean, she was pulling the strings. So like it was.
But how much was she in this book really?
Well, it's interesting that like she's the one who put all this into motion, and then her plan didn't really play out like she wanted. Like, you know, Nick ended up getting the astrolabe. Okay, this is something.
Yeah.
It happened so quickly, right? So Nick destroyed the astrolabe with a knife. Like, right?
Yeah, I was confused by that too.
Yeah, because she couldn't destroy it. It was like a Horcrux. It was like, I can't break it. And then he ended up like stabbing it, right?
Yeah.
I was a little confused about that. I was like, was it a special knife? Like,
but I don't like that. Also, could have been like Etta just tried to smash it, and she got like one go at it, and then like she didn't have another opportunity to. Like Nick actually had a minute to like attack it with the knife.
Yeah, I don't. It just felt like it was unbreakable when she was like, I want to kind of like.
There's also the whole thing about like maybe because it had been in the Belladonna's possession, like she was the one who like.
Oh, was it a knife from her? Was it her knife?
Maybe, because there was that whole thing at the end where she sent Nicholas that letter, and she was like, you know, like, you've proven to be like a moral person, like you're the only one who like could have the responsibility of this power. Like I realize you're a moral person. Like maybe she had some role in him.
Yeah. If you're watching this and you know the answer, be sure and tweet us.
Yeah, I feel like it's part of that, like there was a lot of information at once and it was easy to miss it, sort of.
There's so much going on.
Like I'm sure there's some explanation, but like I missed it because it was like so much at once. Yeah, I'm trying to find that scene where he like kills it. I like that Etta was the one to like set the original on fire. That was nice. Okay, here it is. No, never mind. Let's take another question while I look at this. Let's see. Do you
What is the time period you really wish that you could travel back to? I feel like we answered this in our last, in our Passenger Live show.
Well, which of these time periods would you want to live in? That's what someone else asked. Another variation of that. I think like the 20s. We went
20s. That would be fun.
Yeah, the 20s would be fun.
I mean, they're all not as good as our present.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the 20s as well because
20s women got the right to vote.
Here's where he's trying to break it, he's like smashing with the dagger, and he's trying to like crack it, and then the astrolabe starts heating up. Like it starts like burning from the inside.
Why?
I don't know. But the hotter it becomes, the more malleable it was, until it last the blow of his blade. It broke through it. And black blood burbled up from inside, spilling.
Yeah, that's the stuff that they like ingest to make them live longer.
Yeah.
See, like this alchemy stuff, it sounds like science, not magic.
Yeah, and the time travel feels like it has a science.
Yeah, science aspect to it. That's why another reason why the magic kind of jarred me, because it's like there's a line where like, is it magic or is it science?
Yeah. And also, you don't know the rules of the magic. Like, is it just parlor tricks? Like, everyone is silenced so that they can't hear each other and only one person can hear it? Because, like, that's not like, oh my god, you're blowing my mind with this magic kind of thing. But, like, it's magic. So, like, that's the thing. We don't have any, like, rules or groundwork for this magic system. It's just kind of like, oh, hey, the belladonna has, like, some...
Yeah, it's kind of just, like, chucked at us. Like, this exists. Yeah, I wonder... Like, I would like to get a backstory about that again. Like, how did the belladonna get this magic? Like, when did they discover you can ingest the powers of the loaves? Like, how did that come to be? Let's see. If you could change one thing in the book, what would you change?
I would have more stuff at the end. I want to see a follow-up of Lehman and Sophia and like what they're doing with their lives now. I want Nicholas to take Julian back to find dinosaurs. Like I just want everyone to like have fun, happy times together at the end.
Same. I would like that as well. I would have.
We all want that.
We have like our little group of 5, like Nicholas, Etta, Julian, Sophia, and Lehman. Can they like just travel through time together?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I would have made them like meet up with each other like sooner on and like do this together as a big crew, because that would have been so fun.
I think the story would have worked equally well if they had met up earlier on, because like even despite any like obstacles that are thrown in the way from them being apart, like Nicholas finding out Etta is dead, like he's still like, okay, well, this is the mission, gotta keep going. Like them being apart didn't add enough like drama and pain. It was just like a mild sort of like, I wish they were together. Like it's frustrating that they're not together. Like they could have been together and they could have been doing stuff. Like Etta didn't buy it when she saw Nicholas with Ironwood. Like they know each other. Even though Sophia lied to her, I was so mad at Sophia.
Oh my god. So was I. I was like, are you kidding me right now? Like must be true.
And I don't know if she was like betraying both of them, like everyone all at once. And then like she went and immediately told Nicholas, which was nice. Like,
but I was like,
Sophia!
I'm like, why did you have to do that? You could have just told her nothing. There's something I just saw a good question that okay. Sierra asked, do we ever find out why it was necessary for Rose to kill Alice? And like my only explanation there would be just like to propel Etta, but like, was it necessary?
Yeah, that's the thing is I don't think it was necessary.
Like it made Etta feel like very dire about fixing the situation. But her mom was also stolen to make her feel like that. Like she let herself be kidnapped to. Yeah,
it was all orchestrated by Rose.
Yeah. I feel like Rose just like went out of her way to make it very dramatic.
That's what I want more about Rose.
Yeah.
Because like to kill Alice, like Alice is like her best friend. Like she's been through so much with Alice. Like
like we could have had Alice there when she got back, you know, like still alive.
Yeah.
I feel like we did like I do like that Alice stayed dead. Like we didn't fix everything.
Oh yeah.
Still like it made it so like there's still loss. But like, did she need to die in the first place?
Yeah. See, this is, again, like, time travel makes everything so complicated.
Yeah.
It's like you can really debate so many things.
Also, like, could she have just made it look like Alice died?
Yeah. Could they have that would have been very nice. Just fake her death.
Yeah.
Because, like, she would have bought it. Like, why would someone fake Alice's death?
Yeah.
Like, let's see. What else we got here? Okay. Yeah, I wonder where Lehman, a Proud Book line says, were you confused about all the parenthoods, like with Sophia's mother, Lehman's, Rose's father? Like, did we even see Sophia's mother? I guess, you know what, that's another thing. We got like glimpses of Sophia's past that I had no idea existed, that she was like in an orphanage and stuff. Yeah. Like, I would have loved to see more there, like her upbringing and stuff, because was she like one of the sons just had an affair and then like threw her out because she was a girl? Like, what happened there?
Yeah, like I guess she was raised in an orphanage, that she had like a harder life. But how did she get there? Yeah.
Like there was a lot of interesting snippets, just like Lee Min, like she worked on a pirate ship with like one of the greatest female pirates of all time.
I just read about this. Okay, this is that woman they talk about, that pirate woman, is a historical figure. She's an actual historical figure. She started out like as a prostitute in China like a long time ago. She ended up like getting sold onto a pirate ship or something. Like she worked her way up through the ranks until she had her own pirate ship. Then she had her own crew, and then she was one of the only pirates ever, not just like only female pirates, to actually retire. Like she settled down and retired and like lived out the rest of her days. Like she was a badass pirate.
Like that's amazing. I want to see that.
Yeah.
I know. Like I just read about this historical figure the other day. It's like there's this thing on Reddit about like interesting little known historical figures, and I was like reading through it, and she was one of them, and I was like, that's badass. And then like the next day I'm like reading in this book and I see that name mentioned. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, we just get that like one or two lines, and I was like, wait, what?
Wow, like
I could just picture like Sophia going back with Lehman to like work on this pirate ship. Like I want to see their life on this pirate ship.
Yeah.
What was I just saw a question that Julian Ironwood or Julian Blackthorne? I would pick Ironwood. I think he's arcing nicely into like a much better person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like I need another book with Julian Blackthorne.
Yeah, the thing is, I need more information about both of these characters. Yeah. Like Blackthorne is at the very beginning. Like Blackthorne has an arc to go through.
Yeah.
And like Ironwood does have like a smaller arc of just becoming like less of a douchebag.
Yeah.
Julian has like some dark stuff to deal with. Like,
yeah, Julian I feel like is going down to a dark path, and like I'm scared of him.
Yeah. He does some questionable things.
I feel like Ironwood.
I really like Julian Blackthorne a lot though, because we know him better. Like this Julian.
Yeah, I feel
like he's kind of lighthearted. He's kind of a douche, but like no, he has a good heart still. But we don't know him that well.
Yeah, I feel like he definitely has a good heart though, because like Sophia was best friends with him. She knew he was a douche, but like she knew that.
Sophia didn't have a good heart. Who's she to judge?
Well, no, I think Sophia wouldn't have liked someone who was like a complete douche to her all the time. You know, I don't know.
Sophia, that wouldn't bother her. I mean, obviously they were friends. Like she cared for him, and
like I think she would not take the time out of her day to care for someone who was a complete asshole. Yeah. And like you could see his feelings for Nick as like he thought about him more throughout like his journey.
He's like we catch Julian right as he's going through the stuff that will make him become a better person.
Yeah.
Julian was never that bad of a person. Like he never wanted to be an heir. He was never like really in on Ironwood's big game. So like he didn't have like that far to like grow up from. Like
he just had to stop being like
a little bit,
like an angsty, bitchy teenager. That's what it sounded like he was in that kind of.
Also, it's just that he's kind of selfish.
Yeah.
Not in a mean way, though. It's just in kind of like a, how could anyone care about anything else?
Yeah, like in a privileged way.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Just be thrown out into the world and like discover
like this should have been doing that more, I feel like, because like his whole thing with Nick, like he was orphaned by time a while ago, and like he's been on his own. Has he just been like, what is he been doing?
Nick or Julian?
Julian.
Yeah, Julian. Yeah, I know. Like,
because after that point of being orphaned, like that's his fresh start. What did he do from there?
Well, he found ways to just do nothing by like
he was drinking and like partying and like go-harding around.
Yeah. If the book were to end with Etta with Nick in his time or Nick with Etta in her time, which would you prefer? Well, I think Nick would have a better life in her time.
Yeah.
I mean, I see two situations. I see them living in New York at this time, or on the pirate ship. Yeah. Nick and with the captain, like they're very nice setup there. Like Nick had a good life there.
He just has more opportunities, and Etta has more opportunities.
Yeah,
they both have more opportunities.
No, I'm gonna call it. I want to say that I want to see them continue traveling through time. Like I don't want them to settle down in one location.
Do you think they'll have a like? I feel like they will eventually have kitties, but like those kitties will have time travel.
That's the thing is like, yeah, they will, and will they have the same power that Nick has to like create passages, or will it be like a little bit lesser of an ability? We don't know.
Yeah,
I have an idea. Okay,
we need more books, Alexander Bracken. Give them to us.
I like this duology, like kind of close off of the story, but like another duology, another story, like just keep giving us more. Give us a duology about Sophia and Lee Min. I would love that.
Yeah, I would love that too. Oh, okay, this is fun. Let's sort the characters. Okay, so Etta first. I think she's a Gryffindor.
I would say Gryffindor.
And then Nick, I think he might be a Ravenclaw.
I was gonna say Hufflepuff.
I was gonna say Hufflepuff too, Kat.
But I feel like he thinks everything through so much. He's a big thinker.
But he doesn't think things through enough to not like lay out the terms of the agreement before agreeing to it. Like that is chalking up to like that is Ravenclaw failure out right there. Hogwarts for that. Like, no, that's a true Ravenclaw would never agree to something without ironing out those stipulations. Like a true Ravenclaw would have their lawyer notarize it before agreeing to it. Like
that was a big boo-boo. I was just like,
I think he's like a Gryffindor Hufflepuff because he's very like his Hufflepuff, like he's loyal and honorable, and then the Gryffindor thing is like that loyal and honorability propels him to take action. So
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put him as a puff though. I feel like maybe then he'd be Gryffindor.
Maybe. I mean, I can see Gryffindor because he is very brave still.
Because he is cutthroat sometimes, like in defense. Like I don't know if a Hufflepuff would go around like slaughtering people.
Well, it's not like Nick does.
You know, he does it in self-defense, but I feel like a Hufflepuff would just knock him out.
Maybe. I mean, maybe if they don't have the option though, like. You gotta realize Nick's living in a world where
I know.
I know.
I feel like Puffs would be like, I don't want to kill anybody at all.
You're just thinking of the Puffs play.
I'm thinking of Puffs in general. Let's Sophia Slytherin.
Definitely Slytherin.
Yeah.
She's so ambitious and cunning and like out for her own means and like.
I think Lehman is a Ravenclaw.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
Ravenclaw?
Because I feel like she's just doing what she needs to do to survive, and like she thinks everything through. Definitely, like she doesn't make thought.
Yeah.
It's less of a Slytherin edge because she's not doing it like for her own self-interest. Like she's just doing it to like survive and like take the best path possible.
Yeah.
Not like make a path work for what she ultimately wants.
Yeah. Oh my God, Julian, I feel like is a puff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see that.
He wants to avoid controversy at all costs.
He's
Sure.
nothing else. Like, he's not a Gryffindor.
He's not a Slytherin.
No.
Not a Ravenclaw.
No. So I guess he's a Hufflepuff. We'll just go with that.
The extent of Julian's nefariousness was, maybe if I save Edda, the thorns won't kill me immediately. Like, that was his big plot. So, yeah. I like Julian as a puff.
Yes.
Definitely. Do you have any other bit? Rose? Oh,
Slytherin.
is she though? Because is it for her own gain?
It's all about revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could
I would
see her
say Slytherin.
She has like Slither Claw, I think.
Yeah. But she has to like have that Slytherin way of
Thinking.
or not Slytherin way of just the Rose way of like distancing herself, like
Yeah.
because she knew that was what was best. Like she lives her whole life serving her own means, which is this revenge thing, and which means that like some other thing she might care about gets brushed away because like the ultimate goal.
Yeah, I think Slytherin's right for her. And then Henry, I think he's kind of a Gryffindor character.
Gryffindor too. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Anybody else?
I'm trying to think. We have that.
Did we say Sophia yet?
Yeah.
Sophie
Yes,
was
that's
Slytherin.
Okay.
He was like definitely Slytherin.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
It's like a Draco situation where like the hat touches her head. It's like Slytherin.
And then we have, well, like, what did you guys think of that, like, old grouchy aunt that she had? Like, I was surprised.
She was so mean.
Yeah, she was killed off so quickly, and I thought she was set up as like a character that was gonna like follow along.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I was expecting a lot more from her.
Yeah, me too. I thought she was gonna arc into someone we cared
Knowing
about.
more, like knowing why she has it so out for like Rose and
Yeah. Yeah.
like why Henry trusts her so much. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like we didn't like get a good like grasp of who she was or what her role was. And it seemed like it was building up to be something.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was feeling too. It was like,
She's so characterized. It was like, oh, she's gonna have
yeah, a role.
a story later on, and then
we didn't. Yeah. I was like,
why we need more.
I know, when she died.
Give us more
like,
book.
yeah, I was just like, wait, what?
This is a really satisfying duology because, like, I'm satisfied with the story.
Mhm.
It's just like the world and the situation, the characters. I want more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's just so much more that could be explored.
Yeah, like, but this was very satisfying as a conclusion.
I know. I feel like we keep saying like we want more, we want more.
Yeah, like,
but,
that's
it
why I
was
wanted to
satisfying.
reiterate. Like, as much as I want more, this was a very satisfying conclusion to this.
Yeah, it was satisfying in terms of like this story, but
Yeah, like I'm okay.
she started so many stories in the story that I wanted more about them.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm okay if we don't get more because I'm not like gonna be kept awake at night wondering what could have possibly happened to them. Like I can fill in the blanks, but like
Yeah.
also this world is so interesting and we don't have a good enough grasp of like the magic fantasy time travel aspect to like fill in all those blanks ourselves.
Yeah. Someone actually asked, did anyone wonder if Alice knew she was going to die because she had those letters prepared? She did know because she saw it in Edda's face when Edda visited her that she must be dead.
Around her time, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why she prepped
Yeah, like, she prepared them a few months before. So it was just like Alice was getting at the point of her time of life where she was like, I've lived a long life.
Yeah.
I know that like Edda
Something
comes to
happened.
visit me for the first time around this age.
Yeah.
So like I don't think she's a guardian, she's familiar with this life. Like that's just one thing that she has to deal with. A part of being a guardian and being aware of this world is that she knows that other people know her future and that her end is coming and she can't stop it.
This is another interesting thing, like the Ancient One and his followers, like the Shadows, what exactly like made them the shadows? You know, like how were they like more magic than normal people? Because he was the one who had the astrolobe powers. That was interesting. Like I'd like to know more about that because I didn't
understand his descendants.
Like, but were they? There were so many.
Yeah, but if he's lived for so many years, like.
But how does he make his descendants live longer? Because his descendants were just all of the time travelers.
I mean, but maybe that was part of it because he had consumed the astrolabe. Like, he would have a really long natural life, and maybe his children also have longer than normal lives. But they don't have the same ability.
I don't know, because it felt like they had their own special brand of magic. Like, Lee Min felt like she knew, like, these secrets to more magical things because she was born into the shadow life. Like, what are they?
He wasn't exactly born into it, right? Like, it was her father, and then they like killed her mother and sister, so she would be forced to join them, right?
I don't know. It was like so fast.
yeah.
I don't know, but she did do something like kind of magical to save Rose at the end. It sounded like, don't you think? Like she had her throat slit.
Yeah, she did some kind of healing or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's magic or if it's more like knowledge, like medical knowledge for her time and like.
It felt magical-ish.
Yeah.
It was like, because we thought.
And also, she was able to save Sophia when she took the hemlock.
Yeah. I thought. Well, the hemlock wasn't enough
meant
to kill her.
Yeah.
But like, she definitely had some weird healing stuff up her sleeve. I feel like.
Yeah. We need more about her.
Yeah, she was so interesting.
I want a duology about her, like her pirate training life and the life of the shadow, and
definitely. And like, I want to see more with Lehman and Sophia because like they were so fun together. Everything, I want more.
Give me more.
Like, do Lehman and Sophia end up together?
They have to, I think. I don't know.
Because they got separated back to their own time. Like, Nick.
Well, Sophia's looking for her. That's what's like the last we heard. Like, she's looking for her.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We have time. Should we go into what our next book of the month is?
I have a question real quick.
Okay.
Okay, so Etta was born after 1919, which is why, like, when we have that, or after 1905, whatever, which we have the last common year and the last shift or whatever.
Yeah.
But that was because she was born in, was she born?
She was born in our times.
Okay, she was born in our time.
Yeah.
So, like.
But her mom was born in the 20s.
Yeah, that's why I was confused. Like, was Etta born in the 40s and then, like, taken really soon into the future? But no, Etta was born in the future.
Yeah, that's her natural time.
Or in the future for, like, Rose.
Like, our time.
So if Rose had gone back in time to, like, 180 BC or whatever and had the baby in 180 BC, then Etta would never be orphaned by time, essentially, because she's born before everything.
Yeah, but she'd be thrown to that time as her natural time and be so far from her family.
Yeah, that's the scary thing.
Yeah, that's the scary thing about having these kids in, like, not your natural time. Like, you should just have them in your natural time just in case something bad happens.
Right? Yeah, because that's why Etta and her mom were, like, split up at the end because her mom was stuck in 1920s.
Yeah, in her natural era. Like, was Henry's natural era like the same era as her mom? Or
was his different?
Yeah, I want to read that story. I don't know. It might talk about it.
Yeah. The whole time travel thing, like, it gives us so much to talk about.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh man.
Should we next month? This month?
This month,
February. Our February book of the month is
The Edge of Everything.
By Giles or Giles?
It's Giles. I was saying
it's Giles.
Yeah.
Interesting, because it has the J and the G, and you think.
Yeah, I know. I know. And I told him I was pronouncing it wrong. He's like, well, yeah, that's just the way I pronounce it. And I was like, well, that's the way I should pronounce it then. And our live show for the.
Can you talk a little bit about what this is about, Jesse? Can you blurb us?
I can kind of. Okay, so basically we follow this girl named Zoe, and her brother one night get stuck in a blizzard, and they have just been going through some crazy times. She's lost her father, and her neighbors, who she's really close to, have been murdered. And so her brother gets stuck in this blizzard, and she goes out to save him, and then they get attacked by this guy, and then this other guy comes into the picture.
There's no more spoilers.
Okay, no more spoilers? That's all you want to hear?
Yeah, that's all I've read, and I don't want any more.
Okay, well, this guy called X comes into the picture, and he plays a huge role in this story.
He's a bounty hunter.
He's a bounty hunter.
Story goes from there.
Yeah, the story goes from there. I guess that's where I'll end it off.
It reads like a contemporary, but it's like a paranormal urban fantasy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It reads really quickly too, which is really fun.
I finished it in 2 days, so I
haven't even been trying, and I'm 64 pages in.
Yeah.
It was really, really quick, and
it's really good.
And I really like it so far. It has like a lot of family aspects going on in it.
I haven't started it at all.
But yeah, so our live show is scheduled for March 2nd at 7:30 EST.
It's a Thursday, and it's a slightly later time. Just because like those 2 weeks are like really crazy for us and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the week before, Christine and I are going to be at NerdCon in Boston, and the week after, Jesse is going to be at
Texas
Teen Texas Book
North
the
Teen
of
Texas Book
the
Festival.
4th. Yeah.
So
if you're going to either of those events, be sure to say hi to us. If you but yeah, otherwise Thursday, March 2nd.
March 2nd, 7:30.
And we'll be talking about this more as obviously we get closer and stuff. Blurb by Cassandra Clare
and Peter Jackson. I just interviewed Jeff, so I asked him about this. I'll let you. Maybe I won't spoil the story because it's like the most.
I already know because I did some research.
I don't know the story.
No, but he has more story. He told me.
Oh, does he really?
Story. Yeah.
Is it gonna be in your thing?
In the interview that I did, yes.
Okay, cool.
It shall be. Yeah, thank you guys for joining us for the Wayfarer live show. It was fun. We had so much time travel stuff to discuss.
Yeah.
Hopefully we see you next month for the Edge of Everything. Thank you for sending in all your questions. I'm Christine.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Kat.
And we shall see you next time. Bye-bye.